Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at how we graph a quadratic if a is not equal to 1. So what happens when you have a vertical stretch, when your graph is skinnier or wider than the original quadratic? So let's look at this example in B. So let's start by identifying what form the equation's in and then finding what my vertex is. So the equation is in vertex form. And then I need to figure out what a, h, and k are. So remember, a is the number that just kind of sits in front of your whole equation. So in this case, it's 1/2. Your h is whatever number you're subtracting from the x, so that's 1. And then your k is whatever number you're adding at the end. So in this case, it's -4. Now your vertex is really easy to find. When you're in vertex form, it's just going to be your h value and your k value. So 1, -4. Your axis of symmetry is just always x equals the x coordinate of your vertex. Your direction of opening, whenever a is positive, which in this case it is, your graph opens up. Whenever you're opening up, it means that your vertex is going to be a minimum value, or minimum. It's going to be the smallest that your graph is going to be. And then the minimum value is the y coordinate of your vertex, so -4. Now your y-intercept is going to take a little bit of extra work here. It's not too bad though. You just are going to plug in 0 for x. So when I have 0 for x, then what does my y equal? So let me change colors and do some kind of scratch work over here. So I have 1/2 times 0 minus 1 squared minus 4. So 1/2 times -1 squared minus 4. Go over on the side. So I have 1/2. So -1 squared is 1. 1 times 1/2 is 1. Minus 4. So that's going to be -3.5. Okay, you could write that as a decimal if you want. Maybe I'll write it as a decimal over here. Okay. So if I wanted to start graphing, I know a couple points that I could graph. I know that I could graph my vertex, so over 1 down -4. And I could graph my y-intercept, which is 0, -3/5. Or 3.5, sorry. All right. Let's go ahead and fill in let's just go ahead and start graphing our parabola then, and then we'll look at our table and our domain and range. So if this point, 1, -4 is my vertex, then to fill in the rest of my graph, I'm going to follow the pattern that I learned. So I'm going to go over 1 and up 1. Now in this case, we're actually not going to go up 1. We're just going to go up 1/2. So whatever value you would go up by, you're going to multiply that by your a value. So I would go up 1. So in this case, I'm going to go up 1/2 of 1, which is just 1/2. So that's where I'm getting that point, 0, -3/5. So let's go ahead and fill in our table as we go. I keep saying 3/5. It's not 3/5. It's -3.5. I'm really sorry. So we would do the same thing on the right. I'm going to go over 1 and then up 1/2. So that's going to give me the point 2, my x direction, and then -3.5 on the y-axis. To get my next set of points, I'm going to go to the right 2, and then I'm going to go up 1. So normally I would go to the right 2 and up 4. So I'm going to half the distance 4 and go over 2, up 2. Okay, same thing on the left. I'm going to go over 2. Normally I would go up 4. In this case, I'm just going to go up 2. Okay. So that gives me the points. Let's see, on the left side, I got the point -1, -2. On the right side, 3, -2. Okay. Then as I connect these dots, I'm going to have a nice U shape. You'll notice that this parabola, this graph, looks a little bit wider than the ones that we were doing before. So what we did is this 1/2 that is your a value is going to kind of stretch that graph out, kind of widen it. And the way you graph that is that you use the 1/2 to multiply all the vertical distances of your pattern. Okay. Let's fill in our domain and range now that we have the graph. So the domain is how far to the left and right can I go, which in this case I can go as far as I want to in the left and as far as I want to in the right. So it's negative infinity to infinity. And my range is going to be how far up and down can I go. So the furthest I can go down is this -4 value. And then my parabola is going up forever. So it's going to go from -4 to infinity. And remember that I'm using this bracket here because I have a filled in dot at -4. All right, perfect. Okay, we've done an example where it's in vertex form. We've done an example in standard form. I'm going to jump down and see if I have any examples in factored form, which I don't. So let's just go ahead and do the next example then. Okay. Let's see. In C, my equation is in standard form. Okay. So to find the vertex, I'm going to need my A value, which is -3, and my B value, which is -6. And remember to carry those negatives with you when you're choosing A and B. So the X value of my vertex is going to be -B. So since B was already negative, it turns into positive, over 2 times A. So it's going to turn into 6 over -6. So my X value, whoops, I don't know what happened there. So my X value is going to be equal to -1. Okay. Now to figure out what my Y value is, I'm just going to come back here and plug in -1 to my equation. I'm just going to replace all my X's with -1. My goodness, my pen is being super weird today, sorry. And then do some simplifying. So -3 plus 6 plus 2. -3 plus 6 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So my Y value of my vertex is 5, which means my vertex is going to be the point -1, 5. Okay, so I can plot that on my graph. Some people like to graph as they go. Some people like to fill in all the information and then graph. Whatever works for you. Okay. My axis of symmetry is always just x equals the x coordinate of my vertex. Direction of opening. In this case, since A is negative, my graph's going to open down, so it's going to look something like this. Since it's opening down, it means that my vertex is the maximum value. It's the biggest value that my equation is going to hit. And the value, the maximum value, is the y coordinate of the vertex, so 5. Okay. And then for my y-intercept, I just plug in 0 for x. When I plug in 0 for x here, I'm just going to get 0, 2. And then let's look at our domain and range after we finish graphing. You might be able to fill it in right now, but let's just take a look after we finish graphing. So I have this value of my vertex, -1, 5. Let's kind of fill in the table as we go. So my pattern says that to fill in my next points, I would go over 1 and up 1. So I'd end up with a point up here. But since our A is not 1, we're going to multiply the vertical distance, so up 1, by -3. So I'm going to go over 1, I'm going to go down 3 to get that first point. So over 1 and down 3. I'm going to do the same thing in the right direction. Over 1 and down 3. Okay. Now if I want to get my second point, I would go over 2. And normally I would go up 4. But since I have an A of -3, I'm going to go down. So the negative direction, 3 times 4 is 12. So I need to go down 12. I don't even know if I can put that on this graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's going to be just 1 point further down. So I can't really fit it on the graph, but that's okay. You can just kind of draw it sitting right off the graph. I'm also going to go over 2 and down 12 in the right direction. Okay. Then I'm going to try to connect these dots. And I'm going to tell you this, when your graph is skinny like this, it can be really tricky to make your graph look curved. So you want to make sure that you're really making sure that your graph is U-shaped and not a V shape. Okay. Let's go ahead and fill in our table with these points that we found. So on the left side of our vertex, I had a point at -2, 2, and then a point at -3, and then it looks like I went all the way down to -7. And then on the right side, I had a point at 0, 2, and then at 1, -7. Okay. Now my domain is how far left and right I can go. And I can keep going further and further out to the left and right, so it's -infinity to infinity. And then your range is how far up and down I can go. So I'm always going to start with the lowest values. The smallest value I can get is actually going to be -infinity, right? I'm going down forever and ever. The biggest value I get on my y-axis is 5. So my range is going to be from -infinity to +5. Okay. So this is kind of an example of what it looks like when your A is negative and when your A is greater than 1. So there's some more examples here, or you can just make up your own examples and see if you can figure out what the graph would look like given different A, B, and C values.